Recently, on November 22nd, I woke up to see this. Yep, I had been banned for 180 days and wiped for boosting detected on one or more Skyblock profiles. I took a 2-month break as I played this game daily for at least 2 hours, and I thought it would be good to focus on other stuff, but now I want to be back because of how much fun I used to have playing this game. So on the same day, I gathered some evidence for my appeal, and to my surprise, I was appeal denied. My IGN is Sailor, and today, I will explain why I believe I was falsely banned. So to start, I have a couple of theories on what might have flagged the system. I have 3 main theories that I think could have possibly led to me being banned. My first theory is that, a couple of months ago, my friend wanted to join my Skyblock co-op, so I added him. I had bought him Minecraft so he can play with me, and so I told him to try out Skyblock. At first he didn't find it interesting, so he just didn't play, but I didn't want to kick him from my co-op because if he ever wanted to play Skyblock he would have a good profile to play on, so later on, I gave him my Daedalus axe, some Maxer armor, and a Magma Cube pet to AFK my slime minions because if he ever wanted to play Skyblock, he would have some coins to progress. A couple weeks later, he was AFKing, and so I asked him for a couple of slime blocks to sell, but I decided not to sell them because I invested heavily in them and I decided to just put them in the co-op chest. I believe that could have triggered the system to believe I was profile boosting, but I was not, as I had put them in the co-op chest and he had access to them as well. My second theory is that, I was a decently known lowballer in the Skyblock Z community, and so I was decently recognized. I know a lowballer sounds suspicious, but I did not cheat or earl trade, and I amassed a good 8-10 billion coins from the 7 months I was lowballing. I started lowballing in March of 2022 and I quit in October end. I could have been banned if some duper or someone bought my auctions or I sold something to a cheater, but that is not the case. I have checked all my recent auctions and all the other players seem to have their profile. I wouldn't think that this is why I was wiped, but it is possible. I have some screenshots of trades I have done while lowballing. There is also a link to all my auctions in the description where you can check every auctions I have bought or sold so you can determine if I have done anything wrong. Now, my main theory I have on why I was wiped. Firstly, around 6 days before my ban, I was buying some books from the bazaar and I didn't know that at the time they were manipulated. So I accidentally inventory filled whilst buying them, but I didn't think much of it as I knew they were extremely cheap. A few seconds went by and I looked at the chat. I just paid 3 billion coins to buy a book that sells for 50 coins on InstaSell. I believe the person who I bought was either messing around trying to make some coins or he was an earl trader and wanted to buy some coins. I believe that such a huge amount of coins triggered the system to make it think that I was earl trading, but I was not. I cannot find the username of the player who put those books up, but I strongly believe that they have been wiped as well. I think this is the main reason I have been wiped, as it was an accident from my side, but it is hard to prove that I was not earl trading, as this seems very suspicious. I had around 3,700 hours of playtime and a skill average of 45, Revenant 9, Tarantula 9, Sven 7 and Demanslayer 5. I had Heart of the Mountain 7 as well. I also had an estimated net worth of around 12 to 13 billion coins including all my investments. The next thing to be discussed is why I was in profile boosting. I only have 2 other profiles. On one profile I have never played on for over 5 hours and logged onto it for over 8 months after my friend got hacked and lost his account. I only had that profile because my friend wanted to play with me on it, and if I was boosting, this profile would have definitely been wiped. And the second profile is a bingo I started, and didn't play on for more than 30 minutes because I found it boring. To be completely honest, I do not recommend spending thousands of hours on this game as I did, because in the blink of an eye, one small error with Hypixel system can change everything. I am not saying to not play this game at all, as Skyblock is a very addictive game and especially fun to play with friends, but just know, anytime, you could lose all your hundreds thousands of hours of progress because of an error in the anti-cheat. It makes me sad that around 154 days of my life, equivalent to 3,700 hours, were just deleted, and every time I think about it, I feel angry. As a Skyblock player, you would have likely seen forum posts of people being falsely banned and wiped and think you are safe from it because you are not doing anything wrong. And although things like this can happen to anyone, that is why I suggest not spending thousands of hours on this game unless you are a YouTuber or a very well-known identity. Hypixel really needs to improve their anti-cheat in this regard, I understand that it's insanely difficult to manage a server with hundreds of thousands of players playing on it every day, but it is incredibly unfair to falsely ban players who have dedicated absurd amounts of time to this server and have never done anything wrong. I had made a forum post on my situation which got about 4K views and good recognition and a decent amount of support, but then it was removed about 3 days later without any reason. I have spent over 120 hours in the last month talking to people on Discord, forums and Twitter, such as YouTubers and admins trying to get my situation looked at, and the admins have done nothing to help. I talked to the admin Brandon, but he just couldn't help me and kept saying that he couldn't do anything about it, well knowing he was the only one who could do something. It really saddens me that admins are not willing to listen to the players and actually help them out, as that's part of what their job is, and it's really messed up how hard it gets if your appeal has been denied. I admit my appeal was very short compared to my forum post and didn't have much evidence, but it was my first time that something like this happened to me, so I didn't know what to put in my appeal. I knew I was legit, so I assumed I would be unbanned, but apparently not. I hope exceptions can be made towards this, as I know the appeal team and admins make a lot of exceptions towards red names. No YouTuber has ever spent as much time as I have towards getting unwiped. If I was not innocent, why would I spend so much time? Also, I forgot to mention in the video, another theory I had was that I was playing and I accidentally claimed my co-op's auction of a cat flower when I didn't mean to, and so I returned the coins back to him later when he logged on. If I do not get unwiped, I will not be continuing with Skyblock, as this has upset me enough already and the admins and appeal team aren't doing anything to help otherwise. Hope you all can understand and support me and help me reach this out to the admins. Thank you for watching.